Hello and welcome to the Unofficial Controller Podcast, your weekly gaming podcast, episode 104. Your favourite co-op buddy. With me, George, and as always joined by Bobby, number one gaming pal to my last to get picked at sports. How's it going, sir?
It's going good.
Yeah, I was that guy. I know you're up front knocking baseballs clean out of states, to be honest with you, but me, no.
I got into a lot of trouble in school playing sports. I was too aggressive.
I can't believe that.
My teacher told me I'm not a professional.
You're such a timid beastie.
She said, just have fun. I'm like, gotta win.
Gotta win. And that's carried on to your daily life. Because if anyone doesn't know who this man is, yes, that's right. He's called Chronicles of a Gamer. That's where you'll find him. That's your gamer tag as well, is it not, sir?
No, my gamer tag is handsome_Rob_7.
Playing into his other strength. The fact that he's chiseled from stone. Like a Greek statue. Absolutely, sir.
I'm pale enough to be a Greek statue, I'll tell you that.
I'll tell you one thing. Do you know what? Wrap you in a toga, stand you on a plinth. You look very like Julius Caesar in his early years.
Thank you.
That's all I'm saying. Before we turn Bobby into a deity, let's give new fans an older rundown of what is a video game show. Coming up, we've got some news. In there, a smattering of all the hot topics you can possibly imagine. Then we slide into the feature this week, which is your fave co-op buddy, a chance for you to give a shout out to your favorite buddy that's been through thick and thin with you today, or possibly someone that brings childhood memories of couch co-op from back in the day that you still remember fondly. I know I could go on for hours about certain situations like that, and I'm sure Bobby can as well. And we've also got your comments to read out on the subject too. Lots of game mentions and buddy mentions and some tear-jerking moments, no doubt, as well as a smattering of what seems to be a romance in the comments. Yes, C. Pliskin, the literal baird of the comments these days, and Deep Sea Doodles. I foresee the first wedding of the Unofficial Controller podcast here.
Can you imagine?
Just floating that out there. Then after that, Stingray, the real deal, he rips up the drive. He shows us the new releases. It's not been very successful for them this week. I don't know if he's fallen on hard times or what. I don't know. But with all that said and done at the end of the show, I always close out by asking my fine co-host, the man with more platinums than I've had hot dinners. And you know what? I love a hot dinner. I do love a hot dinner. What he's hoping to play. But before all that begins, Odders, I don't know if you're listening, pal, but if you are, reach out. The code word is Taffy Taffy. Biggle Boggle. Okay? That's what I want in the comments. Just so we know that you're alive. Anyway, think about the password. I've already forgotten what it is. That's how secret it is.
Tickle, tickle, boggle, boggle.
You've remembered it.
I'm pretty sure that was it.
Shame on you. It was for Otter's ears only. The veritable secret agent. The immortal co-op buddy of the show. Bobby, what have you been playing?
So I finished The Last of Us 2. I got the platinum for that.
Ooh.
Yeah. I put on all the, like your friend did.
Yeah.
I put on all the, colorblind thingies just to pick up the extra scrap. Because that's it. That was it. The game is done. There's nothing else to do after the game besides play it again.
Yes.
So I just did New Game Plus to get the last collectibles, and that's it. But that was great. Obviously, we talked about that last week. And I'm still playing Alienation.
Yeah.
We beat, my boy Marlon, my stepdad, beat the first world. Now we're on world 2. We got about 100 feet, into the game, and we got wrecked. So it's gonna be way harder, but it's still fun. And that's it, really. I don't know. I might do Maneater or Wreckfest.
Man, please.
I'll tell you something now. Monday, I might have the famous RGT help me with some multiplayer trophies.
Listen, you know the lobby. It's the biggest lobby in New York that is for
Mhm.
our apartment here. Okay. I will smash every glass in the building and pepper that lobby with glass. I will then strip down to my birthday suit and I will crawl from one end of the lobby to the other, begging you to play Maneater.
I mean,
When you've
I mean,
seen
I
enough
am.
of a man lacerate himself to near death, I don't know how far along this massive lobby you want me to crawl, whether it's a foot, whether you're a bit
No, I
like
don't want
that.
you to do it at all, bro.
It's happening.
So
Until I see you sit down, FaceTime me and play Maneater, I will keep crawling backwards and forwards, whatever it takes.
I'll do this for you.
You're a good man. I see that as your game. As soon as I read about it, I thought, this is Bobby's game. He's the apex predator of the show. Therefore, a game about an apex predator is surely your dream.
I mean, yeah, it is. It's up there. It's interesting, I'll tell you that.
Okay.
What about you? What are you playing?
Kept dabbling with Returnal. I keep getting further. I'm enjoying it, but I need some time to dedicate like a whole day to it, which has not been available to me this week at all, unfortunately. So I've had a dabble with that. I've been playing. What have I been playing on PSP? Oh, a bit Resistance on PSP, which is mightily impressive, I might say, for a PSP game, 3D first-person shooter. It's got the problem with the PSP though, where you have to use the X, circle, square, and triangle buttons to move the camera around, which feels a bit strange when you're using it. But if you connect it to Resistance 2 on the PS3 and download what they call infected mode, you can then pair a DualShock to Resistance and use that to play the game.
That's cool.
Just a little snippet there for you. What else have I been dabbling with? I think that might be it, really. I keep having this strange call into, I installed Red Dead on the PS3 for some strange reason. Might start playing through that. Away. I'm staying away at the moment. Somewhere
apparently
else
now the online community is back up hard on that game now because it's on PS Now.
Oh, okay.
So I guess a lot of people who didn't get to play the online, they're all doing it
now.
Yep.
Interesting.
It is because
I was on
that
about
game already.
What, the original Red Dead?
Yeah.
God.
Maybe 10 years.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's something like that. And it's still online. So
I was thinking, I installed it and then just watched the small intro movie, and I was thinking to myself, I know I'm a big lover of the PS3 and the 360 era and the graphics of that era, but I was thinking, this still looks great.
It's good, it does.
Yeah, it still looks good. There's areas you can get lost in. Like, yeah, that side of the map in RDR2 is a little bit dustier and a little bit more ignored and not as detailed, but there's still moments.
Still impressive.
Yeah.
I remember when we played all night. My boy got Halo 2.
Yeah.
And we played the multiplayer and everything, and just the co-op, and the sky was bright, but the trees were dark. They had lots of light plays in a lot of those games.
Yeah.
Like that. It's impressive, dude. Some of those games.
Absolutely. Yeah. And still to be rivaled to this day, I was going to say that there were some bits in Red Dead 1, well, not Red Dead 1, but Red Dead, on the PS3. And you herd sheep or cattle from one place to another. And it's a mechanic that's never really used again. You don't even get to like rustle cattle or anything. And in RDR2, there was a moment where I hoped when, spoilers for quite an old game, but you get to play as John and you live that life before you go in. Mm-hmm. It's a shame you couldn't go off and buy cattle and then herd them down to the market and sell money and make money by living on the farm. But instead it just says, oh, here's the open world, knock yourself out. If you want to, you can feed the cattle, but it doesn't really matter. If you want to, you can, do this at the farm said, but it doesn't really matter. You can chop wood, but you don't earn money as a farmer. You don't expand your herd. You don't have to go buy if that had been in there where you expand your herd and you have to go down into town and buy food and bring it back and feed them and all that sort of jazz, I'd still be playing it now.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Let's say they make part 3.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be a sequel. Doesn't have to, it could be a spin-off. In the same world.
Yeah.
Would you play it?
Oh, for sure.
I would too.
For sure.
It'd be cool if you did it in the eyes of, you were maybe a small town sheriff, and there's trouble coming your way instead of you being a criminal or bounty hunter. Could be interesting.
That'll be interesting. Yeah, it would be also quite cool to have a tighter sort of narrative focus where you maybe stumble into town. The game starts with you sort of going into a saloon. It kicks off. It turns into like a gunfight, and then maybe it builds. You do it, and the sheriff's cool with it, and he's like, "Yeah, I see that I was in the saloon at the time, and matey boy's kicking off, and it was all a bit untoward or whatever." And that kind of starts your path, and you go from town to town, and you get this reputation as like a lone gunslinger. So this being part of a gang, you kind of, and you can take it 2 different ways. Like maybe someone, a report comes up to you afterwards, and he asks you, and you get dialogue choice of like either play it like you're a mean guy and you came into town, you kill anyone that gets in your way, or you play it like you're like a real hero, where you're like, well, he insulted the lady's honor, so we stepped outside to sort that out via the medium of a duel, and matey lost, and that's that, and that takes you on your 2 different paths, and that
that'd be dope. It's like 2 different playthroughs now.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, Red Dead's got all that in it anyway, but it would be...
Yeah, that's true.
You're not a gang, but but you do stumble across situations in town, like where there's a corrupt sheriff or a mayor, and there's more of an elaborate mission sequence where you kind of arrive and you get hints of it in the saloon, and then you go around, do a little bit more sniffing, and maybe the sheriff's like, well, the mayor is corrupt, but what can we do? And then you build a little posse or maybe you take him out on your own, I don't know. But anyway...
That's awesome.
Maybe that's not even a good Red Dead game. Maybe it's just an interesting masking game. But okay, let's chalk it up. That's the third game I've invented that you're buying.
10th game. I mean, let's be honest.
He talks of absolute drivel. Anyway, the fact that Bobby no longer is in control of his own brain because he seems to think my game ideas are number 1 hits. If anyone out there is listening, ever wants to throw me a bone, please. Please do. I don't imagine it's ever going to turn into anything. But on that rather dark and foreboding news, bring you the news to scour the very darkest regions of the internet to bring you the latest stories. First up, Bobby. I don't know. I don't even know what tradition dictates anymore. Is it me or is it you?
Usually you. I mean, I can go. It's up to you. Just whatever you want to do, man.
I'll go. Time is irrelevant among the stars. It's been the saga of the past 6 months or so, and Microsoft's already made fairly clear that it will not be sharing Bethesda's riches after padding out $7.5 billion for the publisher. PlayStation fans, perhaps in a stage of denial, have been hoping that intergalactic RPG Starfield may still make the cut. However, especially when you consider that it's likely has spent a large chunk of its life targeting Sony systems, there was ironically strong speculation that the Japanese giant had tried to buy timed exclusivity for the title, similar to Deathloop in Ghostwire Tokyo. Well, it's not happening. That's according to chatty VentureBeat scribe Jeff Grubb, at least. The talkative reporter who's leading a double life as a Microsoft mole these days wrote on Twitter, Starfield is exclusive to Xbox and PC, period. And then he's put a full stop. So that's period. It's a strange way of wasting words, letters on Twitter, but whatever you need, sir. This is me confirming that Jeff Grubb's going all out. Naturally, this has led to all sorts of social media commotion that you're better off avoiding, like the plague, as with all social media. Apart from our Instagram page and Discord, of course, which is a healthy place for all gamers. Grubb didn't elaborate on his sources, but he has a razor-sharp track record when it comes to Xbox-related rumours. Presumably, he knows someone high up in the company's hierarchy. It's a shame because there's absolutely no question Starfield would have been in development for PS5 and PS4 up until recently. Perhaps the biggest disappointment of all is that it will almost certainly be a permanent exclusive, at least when stuff is timed. There's hope eventually. Starfield, pretty much what we have debated on the show previously.
Yeah,
Bobby,
I mean, it
was going to happen.
Obvious news. Nothing surprising here.
No, not really.
You didn't
Not
pay
in the
all
grand
that
scheme
money
of things.
to share.
I just don't think it's going to happen, is it?
It's no, of course not. Why? No, why would it?
Is that going to tempt many PlayStation gamers to get a second console, maybe an S? Is this the strategy? Is this the way in?
I mean, I think a lot of guys who are pro PlayStation won't do it, but I know a lot of people who Sony's been their number one, and they just get an Xbox eventually.
Yeah.
Most of us have multiple systems in our house anyway.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, it's not a big deal at this point, but this is nothing new. This goes back to the Nintendo Sega era. What's the difference? It hasn't changed. It's not going to change.
No.
But if you're mostly a PS guy and you get a Series S, you're good to go.
Yeah, I think the game that is most intriguing, because it is a new IP and it's a step into the unknown, is Starfield.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very intrigued to see how that comes along. If it comes to Game Pass, happy days. It's a winner for me. I'll check it out more than likely. If it's an evolution of their already tired engine, I think they're going to get a kick in, to be honest with you. So it would be nice if Starfield was an evolutionary step between where the next Elder Scrolls is and where they are now, or where they left it. I don't know. I'm not completely convinced, but if it is new, I just don't know how, if it's not new, that engine's going to stand up to what we consider to be a flying interplanetary game.
If they're making,
scary.
They're making Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout 5, and it's the same engine, it's not going to work.
No, that's my fear. But hopefully Microsoft can help stick some sticking plasters on that and help them get through. And then they threatened new engine for the next Elder Scrolls, but they never threatened new engine for Starfield, as far as I'm aware. So I don't know. I hope it comes together. Maybe the grunt of today's engines allows them to just flood the area with NPCs, or maybe they don't need many NPCs. Maybe it's going to be quite a solitary experience. I suppose compared to a massive city on Citadel, if it's just like mining outposts, you can have 6 or 7 people and it'd be completely believable. So we'll see. Next bit of news, Bobby.
Everyone loves a pink ball. Nintendo's pink puffball Kirby hasn't been cited since the surprise release of Kirby Fighters 2 on the Switch last year. This doesn't necessarily mean that HAL Laboratory has forgotten about him, though. Following on an interview from late last year, when company teased new games, merchandise, and more in the future, Kirby Star Allies director Shinyu Kumazaki has now touched on the next phase of the series. When Kirby Star Allies support now complete, the team is busy planning for the next stage of Kirby's future. Here's a bit of insight from Kumazaki and what's currently going on at the Kirby headquarters, courtesy of the translation from Nintendo Everything. And now finally we can move on to the next phase. I still try new things at work every day, talking with my colleagues about where to take Kirby and the series next. Together with them, even if only a single fan, we're planning on the next stage of our future. The team is a culmination of the best aspects of the Kirby franchise, and we hope you'll look forward to what we have coming next. Kirby's development team has previously spoke about how they wanted the next big project to be the pinnacle of Kirby games and to create something that exceeds the games in the series before it. What would you like to see from the developers of Kirby this year and in the future? Leave a comment down below.
I love Kirby.
Never played Kirby.
Oh, much underused. Very cool character, in his platforming days, sucking in.
I heard he was based off the lawyer.
Really?
Yeah, Nintendo had a lawyer. We watched, me and Eva watched something on, I think it was a documentary, the video game documentary on Netflix. And it's not, 100%, but I think the guy's lawyer's name was Kirby. And when he used to get mad at court, his face would turn red and pink. And they made this character after him, supposedly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
If I find the link, I'll put it on the Discord.
This is why Chronicles of a Gamer on Instagram is a font of all knowledge in gaming. Not only is it a showcase of the man's, let's face it, world topping amount of platinums. It's also a font of his knowledge in gaming history. It's fantastic. I don't think people give you enough respect, sir. I think you're a veritable gaming celebrity, and we're lucky to have you here. With that all said and done, a screaming lawyer aside, I like a bit of Kirby. Great mechanic. It's these fallen IPs. Kirby's less of a fallen IP because every now and then we see a game from him. But he's never front and center, is he? Sadly. One would imagine that's all the news that we have time for this week. But how would they comment on the Discord about the Kirby story as you requested them to? Or how would they let me know that we've missed this massive piece of news? Or do they have an opinion or take on the news that we missed? Well, they said, what are you babbling on about a Kirby story for? You've completely missed the point of it, George. And as for Starfield, you've got no idea what you're talking about. How could they get in contact with us or engage in healthy debate?
Well, they can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Unofficial Controller Podcast. In there's a link. You hit the link tree. You can join the Discord, the YouTube channel. And if you really want, do George a favor and send an email at questions@unofficialcontrollerpodcast.com.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Do you like video games, podcasts, and reminiscing? I'm actor, video game writer, and total sweetie pie Connor Savage McCabe, and on each episode of Call Me By Your Game, I sit down with a guest for an intimate look at a special game from their past. Did you and your dad beat Spyro the Dragon over the holidays? Or was Halo 4 the one thing that united your roommates during your senior year of college? Stories like these are what Call Me By Your Game is about. From video game content creator Janet Garcia to Hades voice actor Courtney Vinay's, I interview wonderful comedians and game industry friends about these memories. Check us out wherever you get your podcasts, and maybe someday you'll call me by your game.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Now, this week's feature. Before we go into the feature, I'd quite like to thank everybody that listens. I think we try and wheel out a top quality show every week, Bobby. High caliber every week, week in, week out. We've missed a week here or there, but normally, week in, week out, we normally try and bring the quality up. And as the world reopens, we think it's a prime opportunity to give someone something new, a gift. A gift. People are heading back to the office. People are getting back in their cars. They're going on journeys. They're traveling between places. Radio is dead. The podcast is king. You all know a gamer. Force this show on them. Dress it up as a gift. That's right. Bring them into the cult of the podcast. Get yourself podcast kudos points. Consider yourself practical royalty. I don't think, Bobby, any other show offers so much for so little.
They're basically our co-op buddies.
So eloquently put. So eloquently put. That's why you're here. You're the wordsmith. They're our co-op buddies.
No. Wait till we get to new releases. I'm not wordsmithing nothing.
Don't you worry about that, my friend. Don't you worry about that. As Bobby said, in the seamless link style you expect from a AAA podcasting celebrity like the great man, he linked us into your favourite co-op buddy feature. Yeah, that's right. Yes, that's right. We've all got them. Childhood memories, fighting over a joypad. Childhood memories, working together on a game, scratching your head to try and work out what's going on. It's not even just tied down, in my opinion, to multiplayer games. There's been times where we've all took turnabout on a one-player game. There's time where one man has taken control of the keyboard while one man takes control of the joystick. There's been times where one man's ravishly going through notes and maps that have been feverishly drawn on the backs of childhood drawings because there's been no other paper in the house. And the other man is driving the chosen hero through this dystopian wasteland, this richly treed, medieval-inspired world. It's these friendships shared in these distant, far-off places, these memories of challenging each other in these strange digital dreamlands that video games occupy ourselves in that we form. Even in the modern era with online avatars, deep, long life serving friendships with nothing more than a group of pixels and an inanimate voice just randomly somewhere coming through speakers or a headset, connecting us to another human being, possibly on the other side of the world, forming unique bonds, not just about games, but these long-lasting relationships shared on core values, randomly stumbling across a stranger in an FPS lobby who ends up becoming best man at your wedding. I can't imagine a more beautiful and flower-like growth from gaming, Bobby, as it grows into that sort of fertile stage, drawing people together. The beginning of the Matrix, some might say, possibly me, but others might say the dawn of a new humanity. Player one style. I don't know where that came from, to be honest with you.
Came from the heart, bro.
Considerate dribble running down the cheek of a man who knows no better. People who do know better, though, Bobby, and we've interwoven their thoughts into this very feature, which is more about them than us, are our listeners. Now, they've reached out with some real heartfelt stories. First, out the post bag. Man, busy with life, always dedicated to this show, who no doubt will be forcing this show on someone else, telling them to download every episode, then releasing his grip of their throat and letting them continue about their day. He's the muscle of the show. It's Daddyzilla 80, if you want to find him on Instagram. Bobby, what's he got to say for himself?
He says, my favorite co-op buddy is none other than Devinzilla 13. I love the time I get to spend with him, just chilling and playing games.
Not only,
don't know, he's one of the future children.
He is one of the future children of the show.
Of the podcast, yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, that's what we do. We recruit them young, okay? Get them on board for life. It's a religion, this show. So
imagine when we're old, we got little Game Boy Maddie and Devinzilla in our place. Why not?
Oh my God. Imagine.
And then instead of, our boss, Nancy takes over.
Oh,
what a perfect world.
Oh, it's the dream. Talking of the dream, Daddyzilla.
I hope you have water. Because you got two in a row, bro.
Okay. Your contract states no more reading of C. Pliskin. Okay. I've got 3 in a row because I've got Deep Sea Doodles out the back of it as well, who in your contract is subject to the same tier of infection. They want a read out from me as well. It's in C. Pliskin's contract. He has a contract now. An Irish lawyer contacted me. I'll be honest with you.
They're tough.
I couldn't understand a word he was saying either because he was so angry he didn't breathe. So I couldn't pick gaps in words. I just know that all I heard at the end is you've been served. So I don't know what's going on. Back to Daddyzilla, if I may, because I've been trying to say, not only is he lucky enough to have a lifelong friend in his co-op body, Devinzilla, it's his son and heir to the Zilla estate. What more could one ask for? What a beautiful thing that is. It's always see the two of them on Instagram up to something, and it's a very heartwarming family. So yeah, been with the show through thick and thin, and we love you very much and hope you're very well and all the best. Up next, a man who needs no introduction. I don't think he needs that, and he needs no introduction either. It's Bada Bingster Retro Gaming. I have to admit, breaking character for a moment, I've noticed my Bada Bingster Retro Gaming accent has slipped over recent years. So today we'll see me trying to bring it back to its core values. I'm what you guys would classify as a loner gamer these days, but grown-up stuff, adulting and work gets in the way. However, I do have a fond memories of playing a lot of the Super Nintendo games with that Stefano Spinelli. When I was a younger playing Street Fighter with Emerald at 87, always beating him. Yes, at Emerald 87, I always beat you at the games. Playing Need for Speed Underground with that Drexis. Me meeting up at a house with after school and modding cars we'll never own, and numerous for FIFA tournaments with the likes of Aguado, Juve, at Marco coming 88, at the man like a jar, at Suns underscore X Osa, at Andy underscore at Ekenansa, at Daniliano 18, sir. Oh, what a mouthful of a friend, sir. But you know me, I'm an Italian man. I like to speculate, my friend, in circles, sir. Everybody stand for the national anthem, sir. If you may notice, my accent slipped mid comment, sir. That does not matter now, sir. Everybody can now sit down for the anthem, sir. Controller emoji, sir. Please pay attention, sir, because every week I do the generic controller emoji, sir. No hatred here, sir. Trophy emoji, sir. We are winners. You, me, Bobby, and you, George. Giorgio, my beloved Giorgio. How I love you. Wow. That was a strong comment this week from Bada Bings to Retro Gaming. He didn't need to sign off with love you, but he did. Lots of Italian sounding friends there, all loving driving around in their digital hot rods. Probably not enough Italian choice for them in Need for Speed Underground, Bobby. What do you think?
I'm not sure. But I played Need for Speed. I don't know how many cars are in the game.
I don't know. There might be a Fiat Punto in there for him. Should keep him happy. Up next, as mentioned before, not only is a bird, he's a lovebird. Think of that, what you will. It's C. Pliskin, the embodiment of the Irish beef industry. How's it going? Let's do his whole comment as he wants it read on air. How's it going, everyone? Your boy officially finished his exams today, and what a better topic to have chosen him. Truth be told, I haven't been playing games online or offline with anyone in particular, minus my siblings. I think it largely has to do with games being usually single-player story-driven experience. But why not use this occasion to tell not only an anecdote of an online match with a friend, but also a highlight that same beloved motivator, my virtual cheerleader, and clank to my ratchet at Deep Sea Doodles. Back in November, I invited to play a few matches of Among Us with 3 other friends from my acting class circle. She was already acquainted with the group previously, but was still relatively quiet when it came to conversing with them. Since, they were my friends, not hers. And I have to give her credit. She exploited that perfectly during our sessions. On the occasion when she was chosen to be the imposter, I can't tell you how it felt to be backstabbed both virtually and emotionally by her when I came across her in a corridor thinking I'd be safe. My best friend, the woman I held very high and helped develop through nearly 5 years of antics together, chose me as her first victim. Me. I can't imagine why, C. Pliskin. Tears unendingly pouring from my eyes for all of eternity times 6 emoji, and it was even more painful when during debate she'd keep quiet in the corner while everyone else who knew each other for years accused who did the deed. Betrayal and trauma aside, we're obviously still great friends with each other, and I think moments like that always make me smile to myself when we consider the amount of antics we've had so far. We've also been discussing plans to play more games together, thanks to her history in playing the Halo series, alongside my intrigue in trying to try out co-op-centric adventures like A Way Out, It Takes Two, and Operation Tango. One thing I will tell you, Deep Sea Doodles, at Deep Sea Doodles, is it takes 2 to tango. And if me getting any opportunity to see how grateful I am for her empathy and warmth isn't the clue, the feeling is still something we share very strongly together and hope continue for years unless we end up playing the original Battlefront 2 or SSX Tricky, because I'd easily win in both. It's not opinion, it's just a matter of fact. Smiling with teeth gritted emoji, winking with eye open and tongue poking out emoji. To sign off, it would be the highlight of my emotional journey if I was able to join a farming simulator server with Deep Sea Doodles, C. Pliskin, myself, and Unofficial Controller Podcast to serve as vicar presiding over our holy matrimony. It's a very interesting take from C. Pliskin there, Bobby. What do you It's fun, I think, to think about the intrigue that's developed amongst, those games where you build up little, you have to play against each other while also playing with each other. So you have to build up these strategies of telling little fibs and having underhand little moves and takes on things. What do you think about what C. Pliskin, the embodiment of the Irish beef industry, what do you think about what he had to say this week? And what do you think about the emerging love story we have?
Love story is great.
Mm.
But I'm trying to win, so I'll allow my mom if I have to win. Doesn't bother me. I don't feel bad at all.
There's a little postscript here. It's a comment from Deep Sea Doodles. She says at C. Pliskin, smiling with teeth gritted emoji, sunflower emoji. As always, you have the way of pulling at my heartstrings, Colm. Sunflower emoji. I actually dove into some Mario Kart Wii. Open brackets, ancient I know, close brackets last night and thought you would have made great company smiling with teeth. Gritted emoji. That's a very old-fashioned game of Wii Sports. Chilling with sunshades on emoji. I wait with bated breath what happens next week in this emerging love story between Deep Sea Doodles and C. Pliskin.
Every week is like a chapter into his life.
In his life, it is. It's like what I did last week.
Mm-hmm.
I hope at some point in time we get to the point where it's like I awake Monday, startled by the sound of the bin men rustling through what happened to be the wrappings from my birthday gifts.
Mm-hmm.
Nestled amongst also gifts I didn't want from a great aunt. I rustled myself awake and pulled back the duvet and realised only 15 seconds had passed in the slumber and how much I have to write to tell you about my day. From here, I swiveled round and put my legs to the floor, noticing that my carpet was a little more worn than it was yesterday. I twiddled my toes in its deep pile and stood up. Not all in one motion, but slowly, considering everything I had to consider that day. Acting, my Nintendo collection, and the woman who owns me, her heart, Deep Sea Doodles. Upon standing fully erect, I realised I was completely naked, having chosen to spend the night without clothes. I quickly dashed to my dressing gown, as opposite my window is a small apartment owned by an 80-year-old lady who likes to do yoga at the same time as I rise in the morning. Her face was a picture as I pulled the dressing gown across my wretched body. It was there, and I decided to start thinking about what I might feed my mortal frame for the day, be it cornflakes or toast. I love a bit of toast. And we have probably dedicate the whole show to C. Pliskin's week, and we go through it like that, detail by detail.
I'm curious about the old lady. Maybe next week we'll find out more about her.
Well, maybe, yeah. Maybe that's what we'll do, a soap opera. What's Vince the Gamer's got in touch. He hasn't told us his whole life, but he's certainly got something very interesting to say. C. Pliskin's show is over. What's happening down at Finster Gamer Shores?
If you didn't know, you can tell without even knowing who Finster Gamer is that he's English. Because there's U's in favorite.
Absolutely. As it should be.
So he writes, man, this is like Sophie's choice. I couldn't possibly choose a favorite. Firstly, there's my brother from another mother, Teach the Sky, a friend, bandmate, crushing hindrance on all other existence in school. We've gone our separate ways and started families, but I'll always live that friendship through weekly gaming, if nothing else. Then there are newer friendships, Comp Pitcher 79, Boba Loba, and Batmill, and our Tox 1S, showing me that it's never too late to meet people that will impact your life for the better and have your back in and outside of gaming. Everyone mentioned here is both loyal, caring friend, and unbearable butthole in equal measures. I love and hate you all. Last but not least, of course, is the Luigi to my Mario at Lady Sparrow Hawk the First.
Wow.
My couch co-op partner in life as well as gaming. I'm so lucky to be able to share one of my favorite pastimes with my favorite person. That don't pull your strings, bro. What does? That's an applause.
Beautiful.
That's beautiful.
And his good lady's named herself after an incredible 80s film as well, starring Matthew Broderick.
Beautiful.
Harvey Retro, if you're listening, Sparrowhawk needs a trash tapes.
Mm-hmm.
Harvey Retro, as if by magic, appears in the script, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Vampire. He comes in, he says, not only did we have Johan on last week, we're honoured by the presence of the Great Harvey Retro. Can we make it 3 for 3 next week and get Greg in the comments?
That'd be great.
That's almost like the summoning of the Candyman, isn't it? Johan, Harvey, Greg.
Johan, Harvey, Greg. Johan, Harvey, Greg.
More dry ice than you can possibly imagine. An 80s perm.
Big fan.
Big fan. Talking of fantastic looking hair, Harvey Retro. There's women up and down the UK that would give limbs to have hair as good as this guy. It's absolutely
100%.
exquisite. Every detail about the man is picked out in sumptuous detail. He's like, I would liken Harvey Retro to a stunning 18th century manor. No, great house, columns, fantastic. Maybe a hint of Gothic revival as well, just to hint at the vampirial qualities of the man. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, beautiful wallpaper.
Beautiful deep reds, golds, the whole
dark wood floor.
Dark wood floor.
Shine to pristine finish.
Deep red, nice gold tasseled, wonderful curtains.
Velvet.
Beautiful to touch.
Velvet on the outside, but silk on the inside.
Beautiful. Glistening light coming in. Obviously, he doesn't go in there in the day, but it's fine.
Comfortable couch.
Chaise lounge, friend. Chaise lounge. Sumptuous fire roaring away. Gold gilded, mirror above, built into it, all one piece.
Yeah.
All flowing up into the ceiling, which is all architrave to perfection, ending purposely center above you in the retro coat of arms.
Candle that never burn out on the walls.
It's impossible for it to burn out. It's been made out of vampiric bat fat.
Yeah.
It literally just will not go out. Anyway, enough of this aside. He says, great topic. Very big honor from a Lord of Darkness. He said, I had a few shout outs for this. For the old days playing games like Streets of Rage or Gain Ground, Chaos Age and Time Splitters to a final doom and more. I've got to shout out my oldest friend at VH Magic. We have some wonderful memories of my 90s and 2000s gaming. That's 1990, not 1890. These days I tend to mostly buddy up with my enigmatic production boys and Johan Trash Tapes and Greg when I play. That's always a great time. One last shout out to my pal Ben Arrington, who has joined me on commentary a fair few Switch streams. It was also great fun because we have a similar sense of humor, which is pretty vital for a great co-op experience. That emoji is one that smiles with gritted teeth. I don't know. I'm working on that. I don't think he deserves it, really. We should just read his comment. I don't think he can do it justice. It's like me trying to repaint the Mona Lisa. It's never going to look great. It's never going to look great. It's never going to be the best.
What about you?
Oh, what my co-op experiences?
Yeah, man.
Okay, let's get in the way back machine. Going way back. I think I've talked about these two individuals on the show to some great extent. One of my great co-op buddies is my own father. He was my co-pilot in many missions over Iraq in F-19 Stealth Fighter and the Atari ST. You find the game also on Amiga and I think PC. He was my pit wall. He was my engineer. He was my coach for Microprose's Formula One Grand Prix by Jeff Crammond. He would help me set the car up, coach me in the qualifying session. You know, we'd do the whole weekend free practice, the lot, set the car up, do the quali. Oh, no, don't cook it now. You know, good lap. You know, don't save it. No, don't go over the top here. He'd know the danger areas where I get a bit carried away with myself. Young 12-year-old boy, bit eager on the joystick, you know, a bit crazy. So it's that was amazing. At the same time, I suppose I didn't really, in the early days of gaming, other than my dad, it was just one-player gaming experiences. And then my friend Terry Blow from secondary school, we were united through our bond of the Atari ST, and we played numerous games together, 2-player, offensive or cooperatively. Supercars 2, I think, was a highlight. We used to play Microprose Grand Prix together. There was countless times as we grew up together. He got a 3DO, so there was games like Return Fire. We would more often as well just take time and turn around, like it was the arcade, like we would play Die Hard Arcade together and all that sort of jazz. And I suppose then gaming went back to a more solo experience. Shout out to my other cousin Ben as well. There were times where we would used to play the Atari ST together. And then I suppose it was me and Tom for the longest time playing all our sorts of online games and couch co-op, like the Wrestlers, and taking turns about on FPSs and stuff just to get them done. And we would often play single player games separately and then ring each other up, which was probably kind of the genesis of the show, because we'd do a little show review of the game. We're always stupid idiots, really. And we would talk about what we wanted from the game and what it didn't have and what we wish it had. And yeah, it's just loads of times. Not any real moment where it was, there was this one time where this happened and it was amazing. We bonded, and then we woke up next to a roaring fire wearing no clothes, covered in honey sort of thing. Nothing like that. But, just generally memory pockets of experiences of having just a good time working together on a game. And we'll get to a bit later on. There's a shout out from my good lady. We've had some great times through single player games together, and great experiences through Drake's, and introducing her to the Arkham Asylum trilogy and quadrology, depending on how you view I see it as a quadrology. I don't know about anybody else, but yeah. Before we launch into the next comment, I feel it's only right and proper for a man of my caliber who's been asked about my co-op memories to ask your good self about your co-op memories, Bobby.
When I was a kid, my dad, obviously, because he gamed, so that's how I got into it. Then my sister, whether we were on the same team or rivals, it was always good. My boy Adam and Alex, my cousin Danny, my cousin Tommy, all when we were hanging out, we were kids. Then I got older, kind of Alice and Christy, and we had a couple other friends in there, Eric, my friend Lindsay, where we're gaming together. And then there was a point where it was just me. Really just nobody really playing with anybody. Every now and then, maybe a random stranger. But more recently, though, my boy Marlon, obviously my stepdad, my brother Scott, more now than before, and it's just and my boy Charlie. That's we did For Honor together, A Way Out, all those newer co-op games. I did it with Scott, I did it with Marlon.
A Way Out's great, isn't it?
It was good. But
have
even
you played that new one?
I want to get it.
Me too.
I wait for a price drop. But it's on the radar. But those, whether we played, I know now, play Mortal Kombat with Marlon, no. Because you're not going to win. So it's not fun.
Okay.
Co-op, sure. No problem. Fighting game, no. But anything we think is interesting, we'll at least give it a go. So we're not just stuck on one, type of game. So it's good to open it up a little bit.
I've been enjoying, in past episodes, I've been enjoying the hearing of your co-op experiences through these puzzle sort of escape room games, and I find that quite intriguing as well.
Yeah, we figured, because we like puzzle games, and we didn't use any videos for the first 2 games. We just figured it out. However long it took, we did it.
Kudos.
The third game, though, was just we were not a fan of.
No.
Some of the puzzles, I don't know how they expected you to even get that. So we had to look up some cheats on Google. And then when you get the cheat, you're like, okay, so we cheated, but we had a cheat to figure out the puzzle, and the puzzle still doesn't make sense.
Bit of a 8-bit platform RPG era type puzzle that was just meant to stop you progressing.
Yeah, what is how was I supposed to understand that this correlates to that on your screen when your screen doesn't even remotely match anything I have on mine?
I could go on for hours about some of those sort of point and click adventure games where you have to wave a parrot at an electrical socket, and it's why would you ever even think? And the other one was
so fun because okay, well, what's around your room? Oh, I have a picture of a bird with a cow's body. Oh, so do I. Okay, let's figure that out.
Mm.
This game is like, okay, I have a pink rose and I have a purple elephant. What? And now there's electricity and I have a piece of wood. What are you supposed to do with that?
How odd.
Well,
Tell me
that's what
about
it is.
RH Magic's riposte to his good friend Harvey Retro.
He goes, Harry Retro easily. I've known this legend since nursery. Go as far back as him as me offering him a ginger biscuit to go with my glass of milk. I has to be going back to the 90s and 2000s. I can remember many Mega Drive classics such as Future Rage 1 and 2, Street Fighter 2, Chaos Engine, Barkley Shut Up and Jam, which was pretty good,
Mm-hmm.
and PlayStation classics such as Time Splitters, ESPN Extreme Games, and Street Fighter Alpha. Some of my earliest gaming memories came from him. Right back to Black Belt on the Master System and gained ground. Smiley face emoji, prayer emoji, fire emoji. Haha. Even remember Cyborg Justice. Great times. Brother from another mother.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
You can even do sibling from another dribbling if you wanted to.
Okay. It's a phrase I've never heard before, but one I
Sister
instantly want to add.
From another mister.
Oh, wow. Okay. Right. Here we go. On that, we'll leave that there. Gaming Grams got in touch. He says, sadly, the days of playing with friends is slowly dwindling away. Sad with tear emoji. I'm mainly a lonely gamer nowadays, but when I do play with friends, it'll be with my longtime best buddies, Harrison and Liam. I've known them as long as I can remember, and I've been playing games with them ever since. We've played together on PS2, PS3, 360, PS4 and PC. GTA 4 and 5, Call of Duty, FIFA and the WWE games are probably the more well-known titles we've played over the years. Nowadays, though, work has taken over. Harrison is in the Navy, so goes to sea 2 weeks or more at a time. Liam works different hours to me, and I work around 45 hours a week, so it's extremely difficult to get together. We somehow managed to find time, though, albeit not a whole lot. And recently, we've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2 online, Call of Duty Cold War, and I'm sure Bobby will appreciate this. This is Gaming Graham is a real listener. We even started working through the campaign for Zombie Army 4! Exclamation.
Beautiful.
I do miss playing with friends more often, but sadly, the inevitable responsibilities of adult life have taken over.
It's true.
Fair play to Harrison. Thank you for your service. Couldn't have picked a finer service than the oldest service in the whole of the world, the Royal Navy, one would imagine. Makes me well up. Hearts of oak.
Yeah, I guess I've been kind of lucky because my schedule's been mostly all mornings, Monday through Friday. So, most of my friends too have the same scope. We're lucky we get to play. Obviously we have wives, so we need their permission first. But we have to ask them, and if they say yes, we go for it hard, because we don't know how long the wife's going to get aggravated.
What a strange term of phrase you employed. We have to ask the wife's permission. We get it, we go home.
Imagine I just go right now, turn my PS4 on, turn my PS5 on. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm playing PS5." Oh, then she, that's already know you're off to a bad start.
Wow. Well, let me tell you about, that's your gaming woman. Here's my gaming woman, Podgy Posh. She just says quite eloquently, you. All right? Yeah? There's a woman who never moans when the console gets turned on. In fact, she applauds it. What are you playing now? This.
You.
Amazing.
I mean, I play with Eva all the time. But mostly games she would play. She has no interest in about 85% of the games I play.
Wow.
Yeah. But I'm down to play cooking. What's that cooking game?
Cooking Mama?
Overcooked.
Listen,
you know what? She's the boss. Just what you need. Chicken? Copy. You said tomato? I'll throw it at you. As long as you tell me what to do, I got it.
Okay. As long as we understand Eva's a boss, then we're all good. See what I did there as well? Slipped in my rapidly developing New York accent. Although I've been, mate, Downton Abbey, it should be a Class A substance.
It's coming. It's going. It's happening this week.
I'm on season 5 now.
Ooh.
Think about that. Some of the episodes are over an hour long, averaging an hour, 9 episodes per season. Your boys sunk deep, like it would have done on Final Fantasy 13 a mere 6 months ago. But now, no, nothing. It's all dead to me. Downton Abbey. I've already lined up the film. Get it on the DL. This month is still a week and a bit away. Beautiful. The Granthams are my co-op buddies. Talking of co-op buddy with lord-like lineage, back to a Suffolk estate somewhere, where him and the beautiful Countess Donna roam their terraces. What's he got to say for himself? Lord Thomas, Lord Retro Gamer Thomas.
Yeah, let's I guess we could lord him.
Lord Thomas of Retro Gamer.
I love it. Let's do it.
Let's.
It's official.
No. I'm going to knight him.
Yeah, we can knight him.
No, I'm doing it now. Get back. Get my sword out.
Get it. Hold on. Go for it.
No, we're not going to knight him. We're going to give him an official, unofficial Controller Podcast royal title. I announce the RGT Arise Lord Thomas of Retro Gamer.
Beautiful.
You will change all of your social medias to reflect your new title, honor, and the estate we've bequeathed you in Farmerton.
Mm-hmm.
It's a small estate. It is manageable. Lord Retro Gamer Thomas. No, sorry. No,
Yeah,
we must get this right because this is the Lord Thomas of Retro Gamer.
Beautiful.
What does Lord Thomas of Retro Gamer have to say?
I'd have to say my best mate, Dids. We've played all sports games online and couch co-op over the years, from online games such as Red Dead Redemption, Final Exam, FIFA, The Crew, Resident Evil 5 and 6, etc., to playing couch co-op retro games like Golden Axe and Street Raid series, Mutant League Football. Right up to today, we play Playlink games on PlayStation, which are great fun. But I have to say my best memories I have of us two are playing games together, which aren't two-player games.
Yeah.
We used to be housemates back in the day. So GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas, The Warriors, we all played taking turns on levels. Every time I see the cover of those games or the start of the music, I think of those days. Some really amazing times. Another rather awesome adventure I'd have is starting up on the case contracts with George. Some very funny evenings playing Farming Simulator. George as the experienced farm manager and me as the village idiot newbie. For a game I never thought I'd play, turned out to be fantastic. Thanks, George. 4 thumbs up and 4 unofficial controllers.
Wow, fantastic. I think he honours me with his presence, sort of tolerating my rather in-depth farming role play that I decided to take on. So fair play to him, actually. It was wonderful.
Yeah. I booked his Airbnb gaming shed for next year. So I'll be staying there.
Legit.
Well, he doesn't know it yet, but he'll find out when he hears the show.
Wonderful. Well, we'll if you're coming for that, then we'll have to get Lord Ponsonbury to open up the estate. I'll have to
100%.
bring you in. Okay. Up next, I mean, he says it there. Some of my favourite co-op experiences have been playing one-player games and taking turns and watching the story develop. You both watch cutscenes. It's like watching a movie with someone. Goes back to that, if only a game could be amazing, but only 2 hours long and still be acceptable, like a movie, and you get replay value out of it. If someone could nail that and it be as believable and as deep.
Yeah, but how much is a movie?
Say again?
How much is a movie?
God, it's 12 quid, isn't it? Really? $12?
Well, I don't know where you're going to see your movies, but let me know.
Well, it's the movies I go see aren't strictly your normal movies. There's booths and it's a little more private than a movie.
Okay,
but I've never seen. Well, I've never seen. It's probably best to list the things I've never seen than the things I've seen in these movies. I find them very strange. I never read them about in Empire magazine. I go on IGN looking for a review, can't find it. Awful lot of.
Because the average movie ticket, if you're going to see, especially an IMAX film, it's at least $25 a ticket. So if you got a wife and 2 kids, it's $100.
A game all of a sudden is very, very affordable, even at $70.
It is, though, if you think about it.
Very much. Well, Lord Thomas of Retro Gamer got in touch. He left us a comment, just like you can, over on the Discord, the Instagram, or the Twitter. Don't be shy. Get involved. Get your comment read out. If you've got an opinion and you don't normally wade in, why don't you? It's not as though we lambast anybody, is it? We're very friendly here. Community's very friendly. It's my turn. Spatmol. Here he comes, descending from the heights of Gotham while he thinks about something. Any co-op game out there these days, and me and at Comic Picture 79 have probably tackled it together, as well as some difficult raids on Destiny. Alongside there's always joined by Finster Gamer, Boba and Toxis, the beautiful Toxis, we might add, for our regular Sunday Warzone sesh, where we may or may not win, but we always have a laugh. But it's thanks to the podcast that I've had the opportunity to virtually meet, chat, and play with the latter three. Well, the podcast's doing what the podcast needs to do. Don't forget there's a squad up section in the Discord. I'm so happy that people have formed friendships off the back of the show. And really, that's what it's all about. As I say on some of the outros when we put them in, don't be a lonely gamer. This is not the world for that. And the show is the glue that holds the bricks, which is the community together. Our, as you eloquently put, number one co-op players. Who's next?
Got Rad Bash Gaming. He goes at Scotty Jack when it comes to online and couch co-op. Oh, Scotty Jack when it comes to online. And couch co-op goes to Alex Loves Horror. But all three of us make a crappy Warzone team with a crying, laughing emoji.
Ooh.
And up next.
Oh, we got a
new listener.
Guaranteeing there's always at least one an episode, Digital Monkery. He says, I rarely play co-op these days, partly because I dislike playing online. But when I used to play FIFA, always liked playing with @Blue Maniac Grant. But now I'm more likely to be playing Lego games offline with @Hannah.Turner85 or my children, who have developed a habit of not paying attention to anything, then getting frustrated and not knowing what's going on. Yes, that affects many a gamer, young and old, male or female. That's nice. I like how the families are pulling together now and they're gaming with their better halves, or go back 10 years, and I just don't think. But it's nice that it's pulling in others into the media.
I don't play Animal Crossing, but I'm involved in the some of the decoration that goes on in that town.
You're like
no,
a
I don't
contracted
like
architect.
Yeah. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure, babe. No, that fence, not for this part of town.
No, okay, nice.
You know?
Okay.
Yep.
Someone who knows what he likes in his part of town. Oh, I've got to read his comment now, haven't I? So I forgot. These voices are starting to. They're taking hits off my bump card. I can see the show, my career in podcasting ending early because I've just killed myself through voice use. Don't worry. Don't panic. Bobaloba got in touch. She says, Bobaloba doesn't just do comments. Bobaloba does the finest gaming comments gaming can possibly imagine. Might I take a moment to write a eulogy to Toxis, my significant other half and most beautiful woman in gaming. It's been my duo for almost a decade. We've been smashing the Gears campaign together, topped the leaderboards of Call of Duty more times than I can remember. @InvertedLee is my other duo, right back to the Halo 3 days. Then there's Spongos, @Batmull, @Comic Picture 79, @Finster Gamer, my Sunday night squad, an occasional midweek special. Best group of dudes I've ever met. And it's thanks to this podcast we know each other. Bobaloba doesn't just do the finest gaming comments in gaming. Bobaloba does the finest gaming comments in gaming, spurning such great comments as my Sunday night squad and other hits such as midweek special. I give you my comment. I take my leave. Wow. That was
Beautiful.
Enigmatic in the end there.
Almost. He's getting up there.
Almost.
Just getting up there.
Wonderful. Last out the post bag, but certainly not least, what's the ticket say?
Comic Picture 79.
Oh, wow. World-renowned artist.
He says, ultimately, this will be a multi-person comment. Batmill and I have been co-oping for a long time, and together we've taken on and beaten some of gaming's hardest challenges, including but not limited to all 3 Dark Souls games,
Wow.
Bloodborne, many hard mode and challenge mode Destiny raids, and more. We also have an uncanny ability to win in Warzone duos. At Finch the Gamer, who Fin and Fin Productions, hashtag Fin and Fin Productions, was born producing loads of cool logos, avatars, and artwork for this podcast and so many of this wonderful community.
Very true.
Boba
very
Loba,
well. Thank you.
Facts. Boba Loba for being the man responsible for the creation of the group containing myself and the aforementioned dudes that has spawned multiple victories, but also its little own ecosystem of communication and in-jokes. At Toxics1 for being the one we turn to whenever we need someone who can easily replace anyone in our group. These dudes and dudette are some of the finest people I've known, and I'm humbled by their generosity of spirit, their genuine character, and unwavering friendship. Anyone who says this isn't what gaming is all about is curmudgeonly, miser, willfully cutting themselves off from the social aspect of gaming and needs to find a better aspect in life.
I guess I'm a curmudgeonly miser, willfully cutting myself off from the social aspect of gaming, and I need to find better balance in life. I just don't have the time, and when I do have the time, I want to play my game.
Well, that's why I can do both. Like if no one's on, I got a solo game.
Mm.
But if they're on, I take advantage.
And play a multiplayer game.
Yeah, why not? Because I could play really whenever. I try to play when they're available, and vice versa. Sometimes they see me on, hey, listen, I got an hour. Well, let's knock something out.
It's having the platforms at the right time, at the right place to play what you want to play, when you want to play it, how you want to play it, with who you want to play it. And it just never quite really works.
Yeah, timing is hard, man, especially when you're older.
It is true. Someone who's finding it hard to manage his time because he's got himself a column in the Farmerton Gazette talking about how to get the best deals around the county. Celebrity's gone to his head. He tears up the drive. It's time for a peek in what we affectionately call Stingrays boot. What's next between some counterfeit nappies and a dodgy, I say dodgy, copy of Battlefriend all this week. These are new release highlights for the week 10th of May to May 16th, 2021. Listeners, these are out in digital, physical, or will be by the time this podcast in your feed, but could be region dependent. As honour dictates and tradition, Bobby, we will pick a VHS at the end. We will also pick a Mummy, a game we cannot live without from this list of fine-looking hoodlums, but in the new way of doing things. Because let's not say we're always stuck in the past. One of us reads, the other comes up with a witty box comment and a rating out of 5 based on the blurb, if nothing else. Bobby, which seat do you want to command today?
I want to try to be witty. I don't know. We'll see.
You are.
I'll do the back of the comment.
You're doing the back of the comment. Okay.
Yeah, I failed last week. Let's see if I can fail.
No, you were put on the spot and under pressure at a short notice. You handled it well and with style. You didn't know how to play the rules of the game, so you deferred to me, so I showed you the rules of the game. You're an intelligent man. You understand the rules of the game. So now we play for the first time. The board is level. The field of play is clear. It's time for Stingray's boot. It's popped. It's open. First one out the boot. Here it is. It's called Hood and Outlaws and Legends. Crikey. No. Hood, Outlaws and Legends. Let's get this right. Let's do it right. Let's do it justice. It's coming out for the PC, the PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, and Xbox One. And much else it can't come out on. It's certainly not on the Stadia. It's out May 10th. In a violent medieval world, outplay rival gangs and intense PvP, PvE multiplayer heists, moving in stealth to steal treasures unseen or dominating through loud and brutal combat. Only the best will escape with hard-earned riches.
Yep. Kevin Costner not included.
How many out of 5?
I'm gonna say 4. It looked pretty interesting from what I've seen. I've not played it, just what I've saw. But it's possible. It's possible. Maybe For Honor-ish.
Whoever said you can't hit the bullseye twice with the same arrows never played Hood, Outlaw, and Legends.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
5 out of 5.
Really?
I'm just throwing it out there.
Oh, I'm gonna say 4. I'm gonna say 4.
Hood, Outlaw, and Legends is the strong, large man named Little John you meet on a single timber bridge across a river, who challenges you to a stick battle.
Mm-hmm.
He wins, but you're so happy in your joyous knock through to the river that you exclaim you've never been happier than when you played Hood, Outlaws, and Legends. 5 out of 5. I don't know. We could have so much fun here.
We could.
This next one intrigues me.
Comes with free pair of tights.
Perfect. Keeping it camp.
Mm-hmm.
Up next out the boot, if nothing else, the title intrigues me. It's the Famicom Detective Club on the Switch, May 14th. Guide local radio hosts.
This is a mistake.
It is a mistake. I'm going to make one up. Okay, I'm going to make one up.
Make it up. Yeah, make it up.
Nintendo finally capitalized on their back catalogue.
Yes.
Your journey takes you through the world of Famicom, a wonderful town built with inside an aged Nintendo game machine. In there, inhabitants are the legends of Nintendo. 121 Castle Avenue. Mario and Peach live in subsequent beauty. Down the road at Fire Breathing Terrace, Bowser lives in abject misery. Head north to the highway and you'll meet the F-Zero boys. Head south on the subway, riding the Yoshi, and you find yourself Hyrule Castle. Famicom is a wonderful place, but at the heart there's mystery and intrigue. Someone's gone missing. Luigi. It's up to you, as part of Famicom Detective Club, to meet and interact with over 40 years of Nintendo classic characters and figure out who done it.
5 out of 5. Your ultimate dream awaits. The ultimate detective fantasy awaits.
It sure does. If that's what the game is, fair play, they got a winner on the hands. If it's anything other than that,
fail.
Epic fail.
Fail.
Next out the boot, it looks like a dodgy copy of a game from 10 years ago, but no, it's a reissue. What the hell is it? It's a reissue. It's Mass Effect Legendary Edition, PC, PS4, and Xbox One, May 14th. The Mass Effect Legendary Edition includes single-player base content and over 40 DLC from the highly acclaimed Mass Effect 2, and Mass Effect 3 games, including promo armor, weapons, and packs remastered and optimized for 4K Ultra HD.
Who needs a lightsaber? 3 out of 5.
Shepherd the future civilization through its most challenging times.
I like that better. I like that better.
Quantum Replica, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, May 14th. Hide in time as you explore a cyberpunk metropolis to uncover the deep, dark secrets of the Syndicate in Quantum Replica, a fast-paced stealth action.
Let me see here. Fast-paced stealth action. Replicating a Sam Fisher experience.
I like it. I was going to say sneaking into your short-term memory, but never your wallet. Quantum Replica outstays its welcome. 2 out of 5.
Oh, you're good there. Yeah, I would give it 4 out of 5. It looked okay, actually.
Okay. Up next, and this is my mummy because it's pretty good. Subnautica out for the Switch. It's on everything else, but now it's on the Switch May 14th. Descend into the depths of an alien underwater world filled with wonder and peril. Craft equipment, pilot submarines, and outsmart wildlife to explore lush coral reefs, volcanoes, cave systems, and more, all while trying to survive.
I gave this a 2 out of 5.
Mm.
And I'm going to say, hopefully you don't drown from boredom. That's just me. What was yours? Do it. The show deserves it.
That was like one of the most inspiring things I feel anyone's ever said. Do it. The show deserves it. Damn right. The show deserves it. Okay, I'll give you it. World building and exploration game with so much depth, it rivals only the Mariana Trench. 5 out of 5. Explore your subnautical dreams. 1-on-1. Jeff Cousteau star. Jack Cousteau star.
Gangsta stamp right there.
What's your VHS pick, honey bun?
I'm going to pick Escape from New York.
Okay.
I don't know how it came up. Even never saw it. Time to watch it.
I don't know why. And I don't even care to know why. I have 3 words for you.
Mm-hmm.
Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice.
Ooh.
Beetlejuice.
That was on the other day.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
It's good, isn't it?
Great.
Still holds up.
No, it really does.
I felt like we were in a forest, stood next to a dodgy-looking Nissan Bluebird, and then all of a sudden I awake to find myself in a luscious New York apartment gripping a copy of what looks like Beetlejuice. I hope it is. I hope it's not the version I saw at that cinema we mentioned in the feature. My goodness. And a copy of Subnautica for the Switch, which makes me feel happy. In this moment of reality, I realise it's the end of the show, Bobby, and it can only end the way it began when I ask you what you're hoping to play.
Continue Alienation.
Damn right.
So you don't drag yourself across broken glass naked. I'll do Maneater.
Done in 2 days, knowing you. In and out, platinum done.
And that's really it. Just to keep it 2 games at a time.
Okay. I'm going to... I've been on the PSP pickup binge recently, and I've got a game... Do you remember a game on the PS2 called Shadow of Memories?
No, I only know Shattered Memories for the Silent Hill game.
This is a game where you get killed and then you kind of time travel back to fix it, but you go like 100 years back and try and fix it. I never knew for the longest time it actually got a PSP sequel.
Really?
Which is actually...
So it's almost like... Oh, man. That detective game? Where you play as the cop?
Which one's this?
Where he died. In the beginning of the game in Salem.
Oh, a Murder Sole Suspect.
Similar?
Yeah, but a bit more Japanesey and out there. And it's early PS2 cutscene style graphics as well, with all the strange shapes from the PS1 era, and it all looks a bit wonky. But it carries on to the PSP wonderfully. So I'm thinking of giving that some time. I downloaded recently as well for the Vita, which means I've got access to it on a PS3 as well, is the Sly Trilogy Remaster. I thought that would play really well on a Vita, so I've got that with me while I'm away at the moment. Wish I could get back to get some time on Returnal back at the... but we only seem to meet in passing at the moment, Sir Bobby. So here in the lobby, it's one of those rare moments where I get to spend some time in your company. Let's end this show by going Trestles. What do you think?
Let's go. I'm down.
Tribute to our...
It's nice outside.
Tribute to our New York lifestyle together.
Yeah, let's do it.
Any more to impart on us, Bobby? Any words of wisdom? Any joy?
No, nothing today. Really. Just if you have HBO Max and you have nothing to watch, check out Those Who Want Me Dead. I enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about it.
I'll look it out, see if it's on any of my streaming services. with that all said and done, that's all we have time for this week, listeners. As always, thank you for your time. We look forward to the pleasure of speaking to you again next week. Until then, happy gaming, and remember, there's nothing wrong with being given the unofficial controller. It's what you do with it that counts. See you, Bobby.
Peace out.
Hi, it's George here from the Unofficial Controller podcast. Just taking a moment to, first of all, thank you for listening. It means a hell of a lot to us. Secondly, every week we bring you free content, the latest news, the new releases, a feature of note, normally something to do with games or gaming past, be it one of our history of documentaries or an insight into the industry itself, or how games have affected us as people. Well, yes, we incorporate you, listeners, into that. All we ask is that you drop a little comment on our post on social media, and you can get featured on the show. Hey, do you know what? You may even win a prize. The only charge for this is £0, 0 pence, $0. That's right, no money. But all we ask is that you like, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you found this show. And if you're feeling a little bit cheeky, tell a friend, get them to do the same. We have a Discord that's free for you guys to all join in and get involved in. And the community on Instagram and Twitter is alive and thriving. So don't be a lonely gamer. Make yourself known. Thank you. And now it's time to begin this week's entertainment. Take care, guys.